Have you ever wondered how Renato Lyra would play as himself in Dead by Daylight? Well, look no further. I found out how. Hello everybody, Vigo Shadow here, and welcome to the Survivor Strategies, a guide to how to play exactly like how the Survivor would. In today's episode, we are playing as Renato. Since there's not much of a difference playing as other survivors besides noise and appearance, we will analyze the survivor's bio and their perks to get a better understanding on the type of playstyle this survivor would inhabit. Alright, now it's time to do some deeper digging. There is quite a bit of information in the bio here, but we're going to go to the portrait because the portrait gives us a little bit more information. So it says, Renato always keeps his eye on the prize and he expects the same from his teammates. So his perks allow him to move faster when near a chase, recover from exhausted instantly, and hide your and an ally's scratch marks after that ally heals you. So we have all that, but then this is where it gets interesting. In his bio, it like doubles and even triples down that Renato has like a hard time making friends and socializing, and he was the target of bullies, so he kind of gets walked all over, I guess, in the beginning. But then, and it says he enjoyed two things: solving puzzles and annoying his sister. It was his way of showing love. So that, I mean, that's just that brotherly love towards like his sister. So that part's not really that important, but the solving puzzles is because it was like, it refers to like when they were gonna start a kite flying business, like that's the ultimate puzzle. So he likes solving puzzles, he likes solving things. So there is that. And I would believe like when it comes to like the trials, he would probably want to be, the way to solve the trial is do the generators get out and leave. So that's like kind of like looking at it from that lens. But then there is a spot here, like it's like, here's the triple down. It says, if Renato only had such luck with other people, you know. And then he wouldn't listen to the advice that his sister gave. He hated it, in fact. He didn't like when anyone told him what to do. So that's actually really, really important there. He kind of wants to be his own independent person. But then there was a spot right here where his character starts to shift from like kind of like being stubborn and independent to like more generous. So he decided to volunteer at a local retirement home, you know, to make the effort to help others without getting anything in return. That is so key. It is just insane. This is where you're going to get a lot of playstyle shift from him as well, is this part, because to help others without getting anything in return. There's a part later on too where there was an injured man he was trying to save, and then two blades just like cut up and sliced the man and Renato's arm. But yeah, because he was trying to save him, but it was too late. Regardless, he's willing to go into danger to help his friends or help people in need of help. So right off the bat, that's what we get from the bio, and that's pretty much about it, especially with the portrait as well, and in the bio as well. So we're going to be moving on to the perks to see if there's anything else that would help establish Renato's playstyle. Alright, next we're going to go over the Survivor's base kit perks to see if there's any more clues how to play just like Renato would. These are his perks after all. So we're going to go to the first one here. We have background player. Whenever the killer picks up a survivor for the next 10 seconds, we're going to start running 50% haste for 5 seconds and exhausted for 20 seconds. You forget about me, Renato Lyra. There's not really a lot of information in that one, it seems. So we're going to move on to the next one called Blood Rush. Until all generators are completed, whenever you are unhooked for the next 60 seconds while exhausted, use E to lose exhausted instantly. This is disabled by conspicuous actions. Just gotta push through. That's a little bit more of good flavor text for what Renato's personality would be in this playstyle here. And then we have Teamwork Collective Stealth. Whenever another survivor finishes healing you while within 16 meters of each other, you both leave no scratch marks. When either of you leaves the range, this ends after 4 seconds. I'm good, but keep it down, Renato. I think that's like speaking to like how he doesn't want to be told what to do or whatever. So he's kind of trying to gain that establishment of leadership, kind of, it seems. All right. but that's just based off of assumption. Well, we have his perks right there, and we're going to be breaking that down a little bit more in his playstyle. After reading around, we now know the playstyle that Renato would gravitate towards. I pulled up an image that references various other playstyles, and after what we know, I decided that Renato fits into the team player category the most. This is mainly backed up by that teamwork collective stealth ability, so like when somebody else finishes healing you, we're gonna both benefit from that. So it's gonna be being around the team a lot more, and it's definitely like in his portrait as well, where it says that he expects the same from his teammates. So it's just definitely like the concept of working together. He's gonna want to solve the puzzle, which is escaping the trial with other people as well. And then another one for his playstyle would be that he's an altruist. This is mainly backed up by how much it doubles down in this in his bio when he's in the retirement home and when he's trying to save the injured man. In both instances, he is trying to save them, or well, save the man, but then for the retirement home, just help people out without getting anything in return, and that's just very generous. So he's definitely going to be possessing an altruist playstyle as well. Now, as for these two perks, they're kind of the, you know, it doesn't really fit into his playstyle as much. Kind of what we're going for here, because one of them is like whenever a killer picks up another survivor for the next 10 seconds, we start running, and we could get like a flashlight save out of that. You can like really come in clutch to save your teammates, and that's kind of like what we want to do, but we're gonna have to equip a flashlight for that or find it in the trial. So I think just for the sake of him, I'm going to just equip the flashlight, because that's gonna make background player a hell of a lot more useful. And then Blood Rush is like whenever we're unhooked while exhausted, we can like lose the exhausted instantly. It's kind of like getting back in the game and getting invigorated. So but like for his exhaustion perk, that's just background player, so we'd have to wait for the killer to pick up somebody, and then we could run twice as fast to get to that save, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna be very unique playing that specific, like his base kit loadout and making it useful. So yeah, let's move on to Renato's priority next. Now that we know the type of playstyle that Renato favors, we can now establish what his priorities are. In Dead by Daylight, there are 4 categories. Within these categories, we can understand what the survivors deem as a priority based on what we know. Renato's main priority would be the altruism/benevolence category. And this is like, as I stated before, it is the doubling down on wanting to help people and without getting anything in return. That's kind of like what he was set up to be in his bio, is just to be generous. So that's kind of what we're gonna take, and then we're gonna run with, especially with his teamwork perks and stuff. So he's gonna want to help save his friends. That's gonna be a priority, especially when he has like a difficult time making friends, so that like bonding with these people in the trial, being in the same situation, he's gonna want to help them for sure, even if it means putting himself into danger. So yeah. All right, to do some recap, or the TLDR, we're gonna go straight into what we're gonna do for this trial. First, we're gonna play just like the survivor would. So that means we're gonna be playing very altruistic within the trial. We're gonna be a team players, try to stick with the team as much as possible. And then we are going to stick with Renato's base kit only. That means his original 3 perks. We're gonna try to get each one of these to activate within the trial. Background player, Blood Rush, and Teamwork Collective Stealth. We're gonna try to get all of them to activate within the trial, and we're going to try to save our team as much as possible. So with that being said, let's just get right into our match. And as you can see, we actually have Lyra in here. So we're going to go ahead and annoy her a little bit, maybe slap her in the face. That's something probably Renato would do. All right, we're playing on Midwich Elementary School, Silent Hill as Renato. All right, so we already have some teammates that we have right here. So we have Zarina. We can both go ahead and team up and go on a generator here. Jake's right here as well. All right, we're going to go ahead and stick it. So right off the bat, we're going to be a team player by trying to get the gens done a little quicker. Okay, I think he's close, but not close enough. Either way, me and Zarina are still making some pretty good headway. About 50% on the gens now. We have Jake and Dwight. They haven't done anything yet. I could tell by the music it's the Oni for sure. Okay, well, we'll stay behind. Alright, he might go for the generator. Yep, he will. This gives us plenty of time to run away. And that is the beauty of it. He probably sees it too, yeah. You want to take those opportunities not to stick around sometimes, and the best thing to do is to run. Alright, looks like he's on Zarina, so not too good. Is Dwight and Jake picking up where we left off? That might be the case, I'm not sure. I think Zarina might have stuck around, actually. Oh, shoot! Alright, he made us drop our flashlight, I guess. Alright, they must be just down the way. How close is he? Okay, I could not get a blind on him still. That was really quick, though, to pick that up. We still got use out of background player a little bit, but we didn't get to use it the way we needed. He was too close to the wall. And we would have been compromising ourselves a little bit too much if we were any closer. Oh, why didn't they finish this? This was so close to being done. That confuses me a little bit. They do go for the save, though, both of them. I definitely don't get that pick for sure, but that's all right. Jake is on Zarina, so I think he's going to go that way. Clockwise, past this. All right, let's see if we could just take... yeah, let's have him go this way. Let's have him go this way, because we want him to... We want to be able to heal in a very comfortable spot. Maybe right here. If he heals me, then we both get collective stealth. So it's better to heal me first. And then we'll stick with Dwight for a minute. Try to get some usage out of collective stealth if we can. Alright, he actually hooks us right there. That's actually kind of fairly close. If he decides to go for Jake, we'll go together. So yeah, we both have collective stealth, so... Our scratch marks won't be showing up. Alright. Yeah, I think I lose my ability there. Alright, we go down. He's still... Okay, he decides to use that. Alright, I'm not sure if... He might know we're here. Yeah, of course he knows we're here. Why wouldn't he? I'm hoping for him to lose his power. He does not lose his power. In fact, he gets both of us down. I should have just ran. Probably when he missed the first time. But oh well. He might get the save with his pallet, possibly. Yeah? And he does. He does. That's even better. Alright, we can actually use Blood Rush to get out of here. So we are zooming out. And if he is going for me... Oh yeah, if he's chasing me, that's a really bad time. Because I had all that speed boost. Yeah, he did. So we used background player and Blood Rush in the best instance we could have. Which is absolutely crazy. That he decided to even follow this one. We literally led him to the other side of the map. Yep. I think we still get the window here. Yep. Okay, he's gonna still... He kind of double backs a lot. Yep, alright. Kind of knew it. Ah, okay, he still gets us. He still gets us there. Unfortunately. That Franklin's demise is keeping us from, like, getting a lot of stuff done. Or at least our flashlight in our hands, which we want to kind of use to see if we can get background player to activate, but I think we've gotten plenty use out of it. It's more or less trying to get the collective stealth now. Alright, and then we actually won't stay on the hook here. Because I think he might return. I had a feeling he would return, and he does! Of course he returns, he's so mad. For no reason. That was actually a really good spot to turn around in. Oh my god. Alright, he definitely suspected us there. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and throw the pallet there. That's a really good pallet to throw down. I'm surprised he's just wanting to entertain this chase. I think we have another very safe... Oh, Dwight! Dwight actually took the hit. He's actually being a pretty good team player. Alright, let's get the double heal on while we still have two teammates right here. We can lose our scratch marks now with collective stealth, especially if he chooses to be here. Nice. Alright, yeah, let's all three just hunker down on this gen here. We don't need flashlight saves anymore. We need to prioritize getting out. And this is the best way to do it. So we can actually run to a gate, no problem, without our... Okay, wait. Merciless Storm. Nice. We can actually run there no problem, and we don't leave scratch marks. Yeah, he won't even see it. He won't even see it coming at all. See, if we were still running, we still could probably do it. Does he see me, though? Oh, thank goodness he doesn't see me. Zarina's still here. Yeah, he's going to go back and forth. So the best thing to do is just wait until his power runs out. I think Zarina's on something right here. We're just going to follow our teammates' moves, because if we do go out, we are doomed. We are absolutely doomed and we die. For sure. When is his power going to run out? There we go. Does Zarina make the move, though? That's the big question. Because she could take a chase. Oh, wait, she did. She ran. She made it. Okay. Might be able to take the chase here, probably. Okay, they're both on gates right now. Not a bad idea. Really tripping him up. We do get out. I don't know if he has his power at all. Okay. Jake should know that the other gate is open. We can definitely try to body block here if need be. So let's try to see him coming. It could be either from left or right hallway. We don't know. Nice. He's going to take the hit, but we'll get right behind it. We'll just sneak up right behind him. And he had plenty of distance just to make that on his own. We'll go ahead and get out with our team as well. Zarina makes it. Nice. I'd say all in all, that was actually a pretty damn good match. All right, so let's go ahead and break that down a little bit. So we got background player to activate quite a few times to give us a lot of distance, surprisingly, with that perk. We also had Blood Rush, and Blood Rush is going to be really hard to activate, especially when you have to rely on a killer picking up another survivor. So because we had a little bit of that end trail of him picking up another survivor and hooking him, and we were so close, we were able to just chain both of them together, and he had to go all the way across the map just to succeed in, or just to go into a chase like that, and that costed him immensely. We also got Teamwork Collective Stealth to activate twice. Once with Dwight when we went to go get the unhook, but it didn't really do a lot. I think it had more value when me and Zarina were running, and then we decided to stay in the brush. There might have been a little bit of scratch marks left over for him to track, but because of that perk, I think we were able to kind of stealth that for a little bit. And we used it, literally, collective stealth. We were in the brush together. Honestly, I think it's just a great bookend to this match. And that is how you play Renato Lyra in Dead by Daylight. Thanks for watching. Vigo, signing